welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I will explain the end-to-end and step-by-step payment processes in SAP, from invoices to payment settled in bank, and also from bank statement coming from bank to reconciliation process in SAP. Basically, it consists of 8 high-level steps. Let me bring you through the whole journey now. So the first step is when the invoices received from suppliers or sales billings to customers. We call them open items in SAP. You will then have a question, could we also automate incoming payments as well? The answer is yes. Direct debit collection is widely used across Europe. Once the customer made the agreement with your company, aka direct debit mandate contract, you can collect payment directly from their bank accounts. Let's move on to the system to see how to locate vendor open items. First, we go to FBL 1N, key in the vendor account and also the key date, and execute. And then the report will show you all the open items under this vendor account as of these key dates. There are also icons to indicate overdue items. And the beauty of this report is you can highlight multiple items and perform a mass change in one go. You highlight the items, press the mass change button, and here you can mass update payment block or even payment methods to multiple items. Let us also have a look on the VOE app. This managed supplier line item apps offer the similar functionality. You can perform mass change here as well. Now you have your open items ready to perform payments. The next step is to perform payment run in SAP. At first, you define your run parameters like posting date, due date, payment method, vendor, or customer numbers. And then proceed with proposal run, where it will produce a simulated result for your payment. You can then review the outcome and make adjustments if needed. Once you are happy with the detail, you can perform the actual payment run, and it will generate the accounting entry for the payment and clear your open items. The offsetting account normally would be a bank queuing account since the payment hasn't actually settled at bank. So the amount in subledger account will be moved to this bank queuing account and waiting for bank statement comes in to reconcile it. I have a quick illustration here. Let's say there is a vendor open item invoice, £100. After the payment run, £100 will be debited to the vendor subledger account and clear the invoice. And at the same time, it would be credited to bank queuing account as open item. Before performing the payment run, you need to ensure the payment methods are maintained correctly in your customer or vendor master. You can maintain up to 10 payment methods in one vendor. And in this example, we maintain 9 different payment methods. So now we are ready to perform our payment run. First, we go to F110 transaction, key in the run date and run ID. And then you go to parameter tab. And here you can copy the existing payment run so that you don't need to put everything from scratch. Posting date determine which day you want to post your payment document and clear your invoices. And the next date is to tell the program to fetch open invoice until what date. Customer due date field is used for incoming payment methods. And then now you key in the company codes, the payment method, and next payment date. And then here you key in your vendor. And here you have an option to maintain multiple vendor number. And the next step is the free selection. You can further limit your selection for the payment run. And in this example, we limit the document number to these 2 documents. And the next step is for the log, so that you will see if any errors happen. The last tab will be used when you need to print your payment advice. When you finish, you press save and go back to the first tab status, and then now you can perform your proposal run. So here you can see payment proposal has been created, and then you display the proposal to see the outcome. And you see all green means no error happened. In case any failure happens, you can press the log button to see the error detail. You can use the Edit Proposal button to update the payment detail. Let's say you want to update the house bank to other value. So you highlight the item and press Change, and then you will have another screen for you to make changes. If you're happy with your proposal, you can press the Payment Run button to perform the actual run. It will then generate the payment documents and clear your open items. And you can press the Payment button to see the payment detail. And you can see the payment document is listed here with all the GL account and the amounts detail. I will also show you how Payment Run performs in Fiori app. The app is called Manage Automatic Payment. Here you can see the payment run we have just performed, and you can highlight the payment run and then press copy so that you don't need to key in everything from the beginning. So this time we use a different ID for the run. As you can see, everything has been copied from the reference. And in this example, we will keep everything the same but change the invoice number to a different numbers. Go back to the landing page and refresh the selection criteria, and now you can see the payment run you have just created, and you select your payment run, press schedule and select proposal, and now you have your proposal run performed. You can press the arrow button to see the proposal results, and similarly you can edit your proposal detail. As you can see, you can update your account ID, house bank, and even the due date. If you're happy with your proposal, you go back to the landing page, select your payment run again, and press schedule, and then you will perform your actual run. Similar to the proposal run, you can press the arrow button to see your results. And you can press the payment document number hyperlink to see the payment detail. So at this stage, invoice has been cleared and payment has been posted. You may have a big question in your mind. It is end of the story. Why this video is so long? No, instead it is just the start of the journey. After the payment run, the next step is to group payment into batches. It is simply because you won't send payments to bank individually and separately, so they will be grouped into batches. You can define specific batching rules. To batch payments, you need to use FPPM1 transaction, and this program usually will be scheduled to run regularly. In this example, we key in the run date and run ID, and the batch will be generated. And you can use transaction BNK_money to check the batch detail. This monitor will show you the batch detail, including the batch number, number of payment, status, which is payment batch created, the amounts, and all those details. If you want to see the further detail, you can double click to the batch number and it will show you the payment run detail, the payment document number, and so on. Once your payments have been grouped into batches, normally treasury team or payment team should have someone to review and confirm the payment before sending to bank. Of course, this is optional. If no approval process is configured, payment file will be generated right after the batching and sent to the bank straight away. The approver will have 3 options during the review, where the person can approve or reject the batch or even resubmit the payment. Resubmission means particular payments in the batch can be delayed to next batch. For the approval itself, it can be configured up to 3 levels of approval. On top of that, digital signature can also be applied during the approval. To approve the payment, you need to go to the BNK_APP transaction. The screen will show you all the batches waiting for approval, and you can see the buttons we have just mentioned: approve, resubmit, and reject. and the attachment button for the reviewer to leave any comment. And when you double click to the line, it would go to the payment detail screen, and here you can do resubmission or rejection. And in this example, we highlight the first line, press the resubmission button, and select the date as next Friday. And as you can see, the status changed to resubmitted, and that amount will be excluded from this batch. And here, once you finish, you press approve and then save, then this batch would be approved without that resubmitted payment. Now we go back to the payment monitor to check the results. And you can see the batch status has been changed to payment medium created, which means the batch has been approved and the payment file has been generated. And also you can use the different status on top of the report to find your batch. Right after the approval process, payment file will be generated and then transmitted to the bank. For the file generation itself, SAP offers many pre-configured DME structures as your file format. In normal case, we just need to pick the best fit from the standard and then do some minor fine-tuning. To transmit the payment file to the bank, the most common and simplest way is to send it through middleware such as SAP PO and Service Bureau. The alternatives are to build direct connectivity with the bank or connect via Swift service where SAP offers integration solution with it. Once the bank has received your payment file, it will provide a response file called Payment Status Report, aka PSR file, to inform the sender the file has reached the bank. Also, during the payment settlement at bank will also provide an update with the same report format to tell whether the payment is accepted or rejected. These files from bank, you need to use this standard program, upload payment status report, and the transaction is showing on the screen right here. Process the file from this program, you need to define the logical directory of the input files and also the file names. You also need to define two more directories, one for the archiving and another one for the error handling. In case any error happens, you will find those files for troubleshooting. Bottom of the screen, it is the payment format, and normally it will be PANG 002 version 3. Once the file has been processed successfully by the sender program, the batch status will be updated accordingly. And in this example, you can see batch 57 has been changed to received by bank. And for this status, you can find it under the tab Send to Bank. And on the other hand, you can find another two examples, rejected by bank 58 and 59, and you will find it under the tab Exceptions. That means this payment have gone wrong at bank side, and the payment team need to contact bank to resolve the issue. For example, insufficient fund. In case the payment has been accepted by the bank, it will be lying under the completed tab. Other than the payment status reports, bank regularly will also send bank statement file for you to reconcile the payment amount. If you still remember the open item posted during the payment run, these transactions on bank statement will eventually clear out your open item lying under your bank clearing account. SAP does offer a standard bank statement program where you can pre-configure the rule for reconciliation. Let's have a close look to the bank statement file itself, and I have a typical example here. First, you will find the bank account numbers lying on the first line and the second line. The third line comes with the bank statement ID, where you cannot load bank statement with the same ID twice. It is the standard mechanism to avoid you process the same transaction multiple times. The next line shows you the opening balance of the statement. You can see it shows credit first, and then statement date, and then the statement currency and the opening balance amounts. And the next two lines will show you the transaction detail. Line 61 would contain the transaction date, clearing date, and D means it is a debit transaction, and the amount field. and after that you will find the bank transaction code, and the next line 986 contains the payment narrative where the transferee make this text during the payment. It's usually useful for you to do payment matching in case line 61 contain insufficient information for you to do the matching, and the last two lines indicate the closing balance of the account. There are two ways for you to load the file into SAP. If you go with the manual way, in case you receive the file from bank manually, then you go to this transaction, select import data, and then you select the format of the file. In case you use XML format, you select this option. Otherwise, if you go with the MT940 format, you select this option I, and then you define the file and execute it. If you have interface to receive the bank statement file from bank, you can use this transaction to process the file. Similar to the payment status report process, you need to predefine the directory to keep the bank statement file. Finally, it comes to the last step of the process. It is to complete the reconciliation process. In reality, the bank statement processing would not be 100% successful, where there will be always some unmatched items, and it needs end user to do manual matching to locate the right open item to pair up with the bank statement transactions. In recent version update of S/4HANA, it enhanced this process with a little bit of machine learning, where you can preset some additional matching rule to reduce the number of unmatched items from time to time. So you can use transaction feedback to settle your unmatched item. For example, you input your statement number 402 as your selection and then execute. Then you will find your unmatched item showing on the screen with the red lines and the amount. To settle this unmatched item, first you need to check the note to payee, which is in payment narrative input by the transferor. It should give you the hints to what open item it should map to. You will have three options to settle this bank statement open item. First, go to the Assignment tab and find any open item that can map to this bank statement transaction. In this example, we input the prefix of the invoice number as the search key, and then you scroll to the right to find the amount field, and once you find the match record, you highlight the record and press Assign Item, and then you will find the balance has been adjusted immediately. If you can't find any further item, you can put the remaining difference to the account if you know that balance is related to any customer or vendor account, and in this screen, you can select the account type as customer or vendor, key in the account and amount. Last option is use a GL account to absorb the difference. In this example, we just use the same bank keying account to do like a residual posting. You can just double click on the amount field, it will populate the last balance of the posting. Then you post it, job done.